They didn't just want you broken. They wanted to delete you. Not your body, your essence. Not your face, your fire. They smiled as they tightened the chains, not because they thought it would hurt, but because they thought you'd never rise again. Because they believed they'd crushed the only thing that ever made you dangerous, your will. You were supposed to fold. You were supposed to vanish. You were supposed to collapse into yourself and disappear beneath their expectations. But instead, you endured. You absorbed every betrayal, every lie, every failure, and you reforged yourself from the pieces. You became a monument to resistance. You don't carry scars, you carry reminders. Of every war you survived in silence. Of every time you stood when you had no strength left. Of every time you screamed inside your own mind but moved forward anyway. They called it weakness, but it was resurrection. Let them remember what they tried to bury, because now, that silence they forced on you, it echoes louder than their screams. They don't understand what it costs to come back from that kind of darkness, what it takes to look into the pit, fall into it, be shattered by it, and climb out not just alive, but vengeful, transformed, unrecognizable. You are not who they left behind. You are the storm they didn't plan for, the fury they couldn't chain. You were not built in comfort. You were born in fire, crafted in pressure, forged in silence, tempered in pain. And now your will is not fragile. It is absolute. They tried to erase you, but now, every time you rise, you write your name in thunder. You don't need to scream. Your presence is the war cry. Your existence is the vengeance. Your silence is the sentence. They will not remember you as a victim. They will remember you as the force that shattered everything they thought was unbreakable. You were never weak. You were waiting. You were never fragile. You were forging. You were never finished. You were becoming. And now, you rise, not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. You rise not in apology, but in dominion. You rise not as the person they tried to bury, but as the reckoning they begged would never come. They tried to shatter your will. Now let them crumble beneath it. They fed the fire. Now they burn by its light. You didn't survive to explain yourself. You survived to end the cycle. Let your silence be your roar. Let your scars be your scripture. Let your will be the blade that cuts through every lie they wrapped around your name. You were never meant to break. You were meant to outlast. You were meant to haunt. You were meant to win.